Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Welcome to the Pacific Coast Auto sponsored Cool JDM show, the #1 internet show hosted by exporters in Japan, live, as voted by the coolest watchers of
as
the show.
voted by us, basically.
And us, yeah, because I just said it, so I can do that.
That was fantastic.
Thank you.
Your introduction was way beyond mine. So from now on, you found yourself a new job.
Oh, damn.
What are we going to talk about today, Mike?
First, we have to introduce the #1 host.
Right.
Yeah, I know. Derek Weldon.
That's me.
That's him. I'm Mike, and we have in the background Max.
I'm going to say Max again.
Max. We have Maximum Max.
Okay, well, it's falling off a little bit.
Yeah,
Let's pick it back
the first
up.
bit, not the second part. So, what do we have for you today? We have some exciting topics. First and foremost, Derek's Corolla reveal. That will be, we'll talk a little bit about the video that went live on the Drives Japan channel. Yes, I see it there. It's on the Drives Japan channel. Go subscribe if you haven't subscribed. The Lotus that the Corolla has replaced, that video will be, we'll mention a little bit. We just filmed that on the weekend. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We have stickers.
Finally.
They arrived.
Years have gone by and people wanted stickers, and we finally got them.
Yeah. Thanks to Max for organizing those. Mike has an idiot car.
That's exactly how it's written on our docket.
It is. Derek's Diner shows up again. USS Images Japanese license plates. We have an update on that. Oh, I should have brought one to show. That's okay. We'll explain it.
You do this. I'll get them to bring it.
Okay. And we have some cars that we found at auction that we will show you. And we have the Q&A section. So if you have questions that you would like answered at the end of the show, please write them in the chat now, and we will do our best to get to them.
Look how professional we are. I just get up and leave in the middle of a show.
It's live. This happens live.
Post in the comments section if you think Derek's an idiot.
Yes. And hello, and welcome to everyone who's watching. We are
and everyone in the chat. All right, we already have a number of people who have added their comments to the chat.
Yeah.
We are still small enough that everyone can read what you write, and so now is the time to be heard.
Logan's struggling to get those first comments because people are showing up early.
Logan, the GC8 is going to auction in 2 days. We'll have an update about that on the next episode.
Yes.
Yeah, boy. Pass that.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, Derek, would you like to start us off with the first segment, which is...
Oh, I'm ready to talk about it. We got the reverb going. It is This Week at PCA.
Nice.
Is that all right?
That was great.
Good. So this week at PCA, a little update about Drives Japan sub count, as we always do. Last time we had 1,107. Now we have 1,119. That is plus 12. We are not going down. You know, some of those big channels with over 1 million subscribers, their subscriber count sometimes goes down. Not ours. We are only raising by 14 in a week or 12 in a week, but we are going up in the correct direction. Once we have our stickers going... Ooh, I want to talk about that. Alert. Once we have our sticker going, people will see them on the cars, and they're going to want to watch the show. And you guys are going to be like, hey, I've been here since the beginning. I even have a first generation sticker, like some of the people who haven't. And rare. Then speaking of the Drives Japan channel, we have the Derek's Corolla reveal video that just went up last week on Thursday, which is most of your guys' Wednesdays. And there's a little bit of a story for that, actually. We shot the video intending it to be one video, but it turned out that the video was a little hard to place together. Max shot a cinematic that turned out to be not only really, really good, but also a tone shift from the rest of the video, which was kind of like a bunch of idiots hanging around with cars. And so they didn't really match together. And as a result, we decided to post them as 2 separate videos. And then more talking, and now we're going to be doing 3 separate videos. So there's this video here, which is the Levin My Dream. You can thank Jacob, our sales rep, for coming up with the name for that. Was that Jacob?
That was me.
Okay. Well, thank Max for the name of that, and nobody else. It was amazing.
And nobody else. Make sure you don't thank anyone else.
I wonder how many people are going to understand Levin the Dream is like living the dream, but also Levin is the name of the car, because outside, like, it's just a Corolla outside of Japan, right?
Yeah. And it's also like the Japanese advertisement, Levin, my dream.
Yeah.
Right. There's
It's very much like the Japanese commercials, which most of the world hasn't actually seen, and so
I think we spent around an hour finding a title.
cumulatively, among different conversations. But the title is important, and I like the title of it, and I like the car, and I haven't got it registered yet, but the Lotus is going to be leaving soon.
Yeah.
And I will get to spend some time with it. As you can see, it's on our dealer plate in this video. If you haven't seen the video, go and check it out. It's really, really cool.
I love that shot. I'm so glad you paused it right there. I think you talking to the older Japanese guys that happened to just arrive.
I wish
on
there
the
was
scene.
more. There were a lot of see-ins with people like that talking about the car and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But Max was reluctant to record them because they're not actors, right?
Yeah.
And recording somebody to put on YouTube without permission is a little bit of a gray area. But I feel like a few more shots of like behind the head would have been a little bit nice for that. But when we came up for the concept of this, I was saying, you know what I want? I want the smoky alley in Japan with the yakitori smoke coming out, right?
Yeah,
And this
not
shot
Derek's
is exactly what I wanted in this video.
Do you want to talk a little
yakitori
about
smoke.
what happened when we shot it, or how we shot it, or anything?
Yeah, so we shot this several months ago, right?
I think it was in December.
Yeah, it was in Christmas time because there's a Christmas tree somewhere in the shoot. And I don't know, why don't you go on it, Max? Tell us about what happened.
I tagged the location in the video here. It's an old izakaya area in Yokohama that Jacob worked at some point in a bar. So he helped scout the location a little bit. And it was basically... he's smiling. It was basically like guerrilla shooting around the area. Just pulled up the car, parked it there, took some shots. And especially in this location that you see right now, there was an izakaya next to it.
The bright
Oh,
one with the
you're talking
lights,
about the
right?
Yakuza that we found. Yeah, this was our Yakuza moment.
This was, Yakuza moment. I was filming from the front quarter panel, and you can see here there's a little ledge there.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was on that side.
I stepped up on the ledge, and immediately a guy comes out and be like, "Hey, you're in the way. Go away." And he pushes me away.
And you can see inside, it was totally shady looking Yakuza guys in a low lit izakaya. The kind of place that like you would enter and they'd be like, not your kind.
Yeah, there was no advertising that it was an izakaya at all. There was nothing outside.
So to that small business owner, we're sorry for getting in the way. We didn't
Very
cause any harm.
sorry.
Please don't visit us. Thank you.
And we are not located in Yokohama, Japan, and the address is not on our website.
No.
Yeah. I do want to point out, I did a lot of color correction on that video to make it really, really pop.
Mm-hmm.
Every shot has tracked color correction on the car and the surroundings. So there's basically nothing untouched in that video.
Are you fishing for compliments here?
No, I'm just wanted to say.
I don't know. I think you deserve it. Let's go over some of the comments in this, actually, because I think that'll make you look pretty good, Max.
I already read them, and we don't really.
How about Sexy Mike reads them in his voice?
Wow, such great cinematography. I like that one. I think overall it was an insight into more of the work that you want to be doing, where you set up the whole filming shoot, the location, the shots that you want to get, rather than what Max has been doing, which is going through the things that we shot years ago, and often shot by me, which are all awful and difficult for Max to work with, whereas Derek actually knows how to use the camera.
You take what you can get, right? You make the best video you can out of the footage that you were given, and I think Max has done a really good job with that.
Yeah,
despite one of the worst camera holders I've ever seen in my life.
And me. I got him. I think it's really cool.
No, it was definitely the most fun project so far.
Can you bring up the image of the engine?
Yep.
Okay, so just a little bit of info if you don't know the car. It's a Corolla, but in Japan you got an authentic race car-like engine in the Levin version and the Sprinter Trudeau version of it. This has dual carburetors, as you can see. Those are aftermarket air filters on it. It came with the original. The car is fully original except for the orange valve cover on it and the exhaust header. The muffler is original, but there's an aftermarket exhaust header. I think original exhaust on this is probably something you're not going to find very easily.
Yeah.
And interior was full original, and we have done a little bit of upgrades to it. We have changed the seats, and we've changed the air filters, only to get that great sound. From factory, these are ITBs. Like, people, car guys, you know, they're always like, ITB, oh my God, it's so good. But a lot of them don't realize that ITBs were what you got on sports cars in the 60s, 70s, and some of the 80s. It was just normal before fuel injection complicated things. With the carburetors, you would either get a downdraft carburetor like most non-performance cars, or a side draft for the 4-cylinders/6 cylinders like this, and it would give you that ITB sound. And these were the iconic cars for me when I was younger, and so my love for them has lasted long enough for me to go, if I've loved this car for 20 years, then I'm going to continue loving it for 20 years. And so that's why it became a target for me. I just don't think it's a car that's ever going to, in my mind, go out of fashion.
And that's also why we did that special video, right? You wanted to really like show what your dream car is.
Mm-hmm. I'm struggling so much. Like, my brain, this is an insight into the ADHD haver's brain.
Mm-hmm.
But my brain is always very passionately thinking about things, but that can never come out in words because there's a disconnect between what you can say to give people the same feeling that you have inside. It's frustrating.
I think you do a good job of it, honestly.
What I want to do is make a video that accurately portrays how I feel about the car, and one of the reasons why I can't get the script done is because I can't quite get the words that I want to. I've taken a bunch of notes and I've got a ton of things to talk about, but I want to put it together in like a 20/30 minute long video that goes into enough detail to give the car the justice that it deserves, I think. Yeah. So that's all in the car for now. I will say that the other two videos are going to be the first reveal video, which is always fun because it is the first time that I saw the car, so you can see what I'm like when I saw the car for the first time. You can.
If you guys fit in the trunk.
I was right about to say that. I love that. You see Mike and Derek in the trunk of the Corolla, which is always fun to see.
As is tradition.
And I will say we also did it for the Lotus, and it was the only time. I think the only time Mike has ever said, "Derek, your hand is very close to my penis."
I did say that.
And then the third video is going to be a spoken essay style love letter to the car, and so look forward to that.
Just any time frame for the next two videos?
After Golden Week, so it'll still be a few weeks. I want to get them out soon so that the interest for the video doesn't wane over time. It does. It still feels like it's new, but we also have some other videos that we've been working on, so scheduling them out might be a little bit tricky, especially with the you have a full 7 days off because of the way that the Golden Week's and actual holidays landed, so they might be a little bit later, but I hope to get them out as soon as I can.
Do our best.
Yeah, for sure. Next thing to talk about is
Yeah. What did I want to say?
Uh-oh, I ruined it. Sorry.
I forgot. Let's continue.
The next one is about the Lotus, and I've had the car for 2.5 years, but we haven't really been talking about it because things happen, and quite honestly, I just wanted to enjoy the car more so than make content out of it. Like, we're not a content mill. We don't buy cars specifically to show them on the channel or anything. We're buying the cars that we want.
Oh, now I got it.
What?
Said asked if you did buy the car sight unseen.
Yeah, I buy all my cars sight unseen.
Yeah.
I like the gamble.
Well, we buy our cars the exact same way as you guys buy your cars. We don't get them
salesperson mode here.
We rely on the pictures. We evaluate them as thoroughly as we can. We give the same advice to each other often as we would give to you. So
absolutely,
we are very much doing the exact same thing you guys are doing.
Okay, sorry for the cutback.
Good cutback.
Question.
Good point.
Good point.
You too.
Great
Good point.
Good point.
Did I get a good point?
Yeah, good point.
Okay.
Going with the good points.
My Lotus. Every car enthusiast's dream. A very lightweight, high precision car. This one here is a special model that is lighter than the regular one. I can't get good information on how much lighter it is. I believe it's about 17 kilograms lighter, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when we were talking sub 1,000 kilogram cars, it does make a difference. We did go driving in it, and I was like, this car isn't as fast when you've got a passenger. it's that noticeable. Anyone would be able to notice that. I did in my old 8.6 that I used to drive.
Yeah.
When you add a passenger, you're like, whoa, slower.
Cappuccino, same thing. It's
Yeah. I guess once you get that far down in weight, adding a person is like a decent percentage extra in weight.
Right. In this case, 10% difference.
Yeah.
More than that. Yeah, if you're sitting in
If you're me, that's what he was trying to say.
You know what? Mike is so much bigger than me. You're going to see in this next clip, right?
Can
Here,
we
let me
please
put my
tease
seat
that
at the
little
same
bit?
level as your seat and see how.
Because I don't want
look.
to show too much of the video. If you don't want to show that part, that's fine.
no. So I prepared a little teaser. We had the video.
Max! Wow, exciting! I did not know.
So you did know.
I see it here now. It says teaser footage. In all honesty, I did not read that. So this is new.
I love it.
So we went out shooting the goodbye video for the Lotus on Sunday. So a couple of days back, and we thought it would be a fun idea to just show a little what we did and talk about it. So there's no audio. You guys can live react to it.
I will say that Derek wanted to make sure that we all got a chance to drive the car. It's not something, you don't just get a chance to drive a Lotus. So a big thank you to Derek, and we all enjoyed the day, and it was really cool to be able to drive the Lotus.
A special version of the Lotus called the Club Racer.
Oh, right.
One of only 36 made. I kept saying it was one of only 12 made, but I believe it's only one of 12 made in this color. But one of 36 made. I don't know. I did a bunch of research on it when I first bought it like 2.5 years ago. Yeah. And then since then, it's just been my car.
Yeah.
But what a lovely car. And my wife was very happy. Like, it's a harsh car, and it's difficult, and it's annoying, and it's rattly. There are a lot of things about a Lotus that make it not a very good daily driver, but I did not hear a peep out of my wife's mouth about any of that kind of stuff, because she liked to be seen as the person getting out of the Lotus.
Oh.
Maybe not giving her enough credit, but no, it is... It does make you feel very cool when everybody is pointing at you. I'll say something about the Lotus, like, unlike any other supercar, it has a very unique look to it. And to someone who doesn't know about cars, it might as well be a hypercar because of how it looks, right? But then to the car enthusiasts, you get a different kind of feeling about it. It's like, this is a well-respected car for car enthusiasts because they know it's more about the handling than it is about the flossing, showing how much wealth that you have kind of thing. Because in all honesty, they're not super expensive cars. They're almost exclusively a second car, a third car for most people, right? But yeah, when you drive them, kids are pointing at it, adults are pointing at it. Everyone's like, hey, what is this?
Yeah.
And it's kind of neat, especially this one with the unique lightweight seats. Looks very, very cool.
Well, how did you get the unique lightweight seats?
It's part of the Club Racer package, one of only 36 made.
Special edition, right?
Club Racer.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wait, say it again with reverb.
Club Racer.
Nice.
Thanks. Okay, let's this is an unfinished portion of the video that we shot on it. Yes. So let's have a quick little look at that. And yeah, me, Max, Grant, and Mike all went out to the mountains to go driving. We got this footage on a DJI Osmo camera. Yeah. This is our first time using the camera, and we were really happy with the footage, right, Max?
Yep, I am super happy. Not the first time using it, but first time in the mountains.
Oh, the intro video for the channel was also filmed using that. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. We did with the bike and the fit merging
okay, second
together.
time.
Yeah.
But this time is my car, so it looks so amazing.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that shot. My.
There's a CR on the fender there.
Yeah, that's for Club Racer. So this is the special one of 36 ever made. Yeah. Only 12 in this color, and the color's called Old English White. Oh. Color matched interior, including seats. Okay, wait, pause it here.
Wait, you're gonna go back a little bit where I'm like sitting back in the chair, I think. There, perfect. This scene is lovingly referred to as Mike takes his son for a drive. Don't know why I look so much bigger than Derek, but with Derek's little hat there, it looks great.
Yeah. Hey, Dad, can we go driving in your new car?
In your car.
Not for much longer. The car is going to go away. And the gist of it is that this would be a great car to live with if all you ever do was enthusiast driving. But if it's for anything else, it's just a sucky car. Yeah. In all honesty. Yeah. So, especially for somebody who likes music, boy, is the stereo in there bad. It's one of the worst stereos I've ever heard, and it has like $500 upgraded speakers and head unit in it. It's just the wrong shape and speaker boxes for good sound.
Yeah.
So that video, we don't know when it's going to come out, probably within a month, but you guys are lucky because you are watching this show. You get a sneak peek, so don't forget that. Always watch the show because you never know what we're going to show you that is fun and exciting. Like the stickers that we're going to be talking about.
Is
right,
that
Mike?
up next?
Good segue, right?
Good segue. That is up next. Yes, the hotly awaited PCA / Cool JDM show.
/
Oh, I just do that kind of naturally. Like I know that it's there, even though it's a green screen. Yeah, we got stickers. Without further ado, I just want to introduce and show them to you. Do I need to say anything about them? No,
we got to say that they're not on sale, not for sale yet. This is a trial run.
True. Yeah.
And we have to go with a different supplier, so we're going to make some edits.
Yeah, but I won't keep you waiting. Max, if you'll also do the honors after this.
Yeah.
The first reveal.
You can't see it.
Why not?
All of these were designed by Max as well, by the way, and this is our official new logo, which Max has designed for us.
And this is on transparent background. So the white is only the paper that's in the background. You peel off. It's transparent.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Ah, cool. Love it. Even more.
Again, these are this is just the first batch. We're kind of trialing them to see what looks good, what looks cool. Which one next? Do you want to see Cool JDM show or Drives Japan?
Cool JDM show.
Chat can decide.
Ooh, the chat can decide. I have 2 stickers in my hand. One is the Cool JDM show. The other is Drives Japan. Please tell me which you would like to see now.
Whoever comments
Go.
first is going to get it, because I don't want to wait around for 30 people to vote.
Okay. They're gonna maybe they'll.
I hope it's Logan. I love when he's like,
Cool.
me first.
Oh,
Cool JDM.
Cool JDM and left hand. Me. You want to see me? Love it. Okay, well, Logan was first. No, Gore-Tex was first. And that's Cool JDM show. So, without further ado,
which looks basically like this one here, but it's on a hollow version, so the rainbow in the official logo can still become official rainbow.
Yeah.
And it pops. It is so cool.
Probably the coolest sticker. Not to say anything else bad about it.
Right? It's even cooler than stickers that aren't JDM's shows.
Yeah.
Right?
This is the coolest sticker from the coolest JDM show with the coolest watchers. Like that. And the last one is Drives Japan, which I really like.
Another logo invented by Max.
Yes. These are all designed and printed. Not printed by Max, but arranged by Max. Max did everything.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
And if there's enough support for it, we're going to be doing a face reveal for Max at some
another
point.
face reveal.
People know how I look like.
No, it's going to be an ongoing thing where we'll threaten people with face reveals.
So I don't know how to show them all, but that's
Okay, I gotta ask something. This is for the chat, and I do want to hear multiple people posting about this. I want to know what you guys think is the proper price for these stickers to be sold. We haven't decided what we're going to be selling them for. We haven't even gone over the full cost for us as a company, but a lot of people do stickers, and we have a general idea about what prices are, but I'd like to hear from you guys what you think a proper price per sticker is. So go ahead, write that in the comments right now. What is the price that you would pay?
Yep. If you want to say a bit more about where we got them from and why we might be changing, well, why we are going to be changing them a little bit. Either of you know the most.
Do you want to say something about shipping prices for those stickers? Do you have like a rough ball?
Stickers are honestly not that much to ship, but we don't know how we're going to be shipping them. I did a little bit of research on a YouTuber in Japan who sells stickers. He was selling the stickers for 600 yen per sticker, but the shipping for one sticker was 3,900 yen for shipping.
Oh, that's
and I
too
think it's
expensive.
because that's like the minimum amount through whichever shipping service that was.
Yeah.
But I don't really know. But one sticker, you can like... I don't think you would want to do it, but you can send it through the post tracked, and that's 400. Oh, we looked it up. It's 480 yen or something like that cost for shipping.
Okay.
For just one sticker.
And that's in just like an envelope.
Yeah.
With maybe like a.
And
piece of
non-tracked is
cardboard.
210 yen. But I think for stuff like this, you'd probably want tracking.
Yeah, I think so too.
So yeah.
So now people know. And
I honestly think that's the best idea, because that minimum shipping is probably the kind of shipping that we have to pay to send like a DHL document package. So
yeah,
it makes sense
DHL is somewhere around 3,800 yen for up to, I think, 1,000 grams
yeah.
or something like that.
Would make sense if you were like buying stickers and T-shirts and keychains and a whole bunch of things, but not if you're just buying stickers.
Okay, so we got one person saying $3.99, I suppose US dollars. So that what's 400? That's about 600 yen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
500 yen per decal with a question mark on there. Could they not be shipped via letter?
Yeah.
Yeah, they could be. Zaid says $10 for the slaps, including shipping. $3 to $5 plus shipping, but sneak one in the glove box of each car we buy. We used to do that with their very, very first run of Pacific Coast Auto stickers. We used to do one free sticker for everybody, but now that we have a cool JDM show, we're trying to monetize things, and we're trying to extort money out of all of our wait a second.
Wait, did you say extort? I think you meant liberate.
I think things are a little bit different too, though. The Pacific Coast Auto sticker, I think, has a certain amount of demand above the other two stickers, but it is also something of an advertising for us at the same time. The other two stickers are for different entities, essentially. So Drives Japan is a YouTube channel that doesn't actually make any profit at the moment.
It does make losses.
Cool JDM.
Yes.
It absolutely makes losses. Oh my God. We should talk about the cumulative amount of money that we've spent on things like camera gear, staffing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh gosh.
Hair and makeup.
Yeah. I will also say, the stickers for the competition that we mentioned last week or revealed. What did we do? The finalized, the winners. You know who you are. You won the competition. The top 3, first, second, and third, will all get one of each sticker sent to you guys. So we will be reaching out. I think we know everyone. We have all of your email addresses, so we'll send you a message.
One of them that won, and you probably know who you are. You own a CRX. When you come to Japan, we'll just hand it to you because we want to save on each post.
That's right. We'll see you soon, and you will be able to collect your prize
out of viewers. What's next?
And that's it for stickers. I think we will be changing them, but we will reveal them. Limited, first edition, first run, rare. Don't resell them. That'd be not cool.
Do resell them. That drives up the prices that we can charge.
Yeah, if you resell them, they'll only become more expensive to buy from
any
from
universe are we going to become popular enough that people are reselling our stickers.
I don't know. These are the limited edition. First
Mike.
Run. Anyways.
Do you love your car?
No.
Why?
I don't. My car, so while we were filming the Lotus video...
The story starts before that. You've been having trouble since day one with your car. How long have you owned the BMW for?
I think about a year.
Can we get a picture of the BMW on here?
Ooh, I need to look for one. But
use the video. Use the video on Drives Japan. Oh no, you can't log into Drives Japan. Can you?
Already logged in, I think.
No, this is PCA.
But we have the Drives Japan.
We
channel.
have
Don't worry, Max has got it. Max is on the case. So
the other day, Max actually said that to me. I'm like, "How are you going to get the video on the stream?" And he's like, "Derek, this is what I do. You don't have to worry yourself with these things."
All right, nice. When did it start? I don't even remember when it started. Oh, right. So I went to do an oil change on the BMW. I think a lot of you already know. I jacked the car up and it broke. It just threw up a whole bunch of sensors. I think I had the vehicle too much on the left-hand side, and that caused an issue with the wheel speed sensor or something like that, and it just threw up every single code. It turns off the ABS, turns off the traction control, turns off like the hill assist, everything. Not that you really need all those things, like it still drives okay, but the brakes are awful on it. So I got that repaired at a BMW place. It wasn't all that expensive, just frustrating because I had to do a road trip with my parents in the car for like, what was it, 3,000 or 6,000 kilometers? I don't remember, but all over Japan with a broken BMW. Not fun. But got everything fixed, and it was all fine until the Lotus video, which we did on Sunday, and we went over a slightly bumpy road, and that threw up all the same codes.
Yeah, so, BMW, the ultimate driving experience, except for on slightly bumpy roads.
Yeah. So all the codes came up, turned it off, waited for a few minutes while we were filming stuff. No more codes, and I thought it was just like a little blip, and it would be okay, but no. I took my friends on a trip. They're visiting Japan right now. We went to Fuji yesterday, and all the same codes, plus an additional code, which was an engine fault. So apparently
your car turned
I
from
gotta
twin
press the
turbo
right
to
button.
0 turbo.
No, that was the wrong button.
engine fault.
That is the right button.
Bomb. Check engine light. Max researched when I told him about it, and he said apparently it's just a vacuum hose that tends to break and come loose from the turbos, but my car is now non-turbo because it says reduced power, drive carefully to
So
the
it doesn't let
nearest
any of the
BMW
boost
service.
happen.
No. Which actually, it sounds really good.
I like how they advertise BMW when your car is broken, right?
Yeah.
It's like, your car is broken. BMW can fix it for you. Yeah, well, it's kind of BMW's problem too.
Yeah.
It's such a shame too, because like the 1 Series in theory sounds like such a great car. Smaller than a 3 Series, it's rear wheel drive and has the big engine, right? The 3-liter twin turbo 300 horsepower engine, manual transmission, 6-speed, right?
Yeah.
Everything, it ticks off many boxes. It is a heavy boy, right?
It is 1,500 something kilo.
Yeah, pretty heavy.
But honestly, I keep saying it's the German GTR. Straight 6, twin turbo, 6-speed. A bit heavier than the GTR. Obviously not as good as the GTR.
Right, GTR is,
But it sounds good.
just below supercar performance.
Yeah.
Well, when it came out, I mean.
Yeah. This is not that. I'm not trying to say it's.
But
it's the same.
It has a lot of the same things, right?
Right. And for the price point, it was very attractive. I like that. Yeah. Also, I like
That's
the
one of my
mustache.
favorite parts.
Just randomly had mustaches. So, this story might sound doom and gloom. However,
It has a happy ending. Mike and his happy ending.
Yeah. The happy ending is that the BMW will not be my car for much longer. A new car has already been purchased as of next week, and it is on the way.
You know what? Do you want to write little hints on your cups?
Oh, we could start doing the cups again. Yeah.
Right. So, new car was bought. It will arrive today, probably. You haven't seen it yet.
Probably, yes. And when it arrives, it will be loud. Someone said, is my car right-hand drive? The BMW is right-hand drive, yes. And it is manual. Oh, he sees the video. Never mind, I should just keep reading. So Richard, I think, was the first commenter on the live stream, and he said, will Mike get a VW or something like that?
A Volkswagen Beetle.
Mike's done with German cars. Mike's exclusively buying Japanese cars now.
Forever.
I don't think I would ever own another BMW. And I have to say, I don't want to be too off-putting for people who are interested in buying something like this. I'm not going to be selling it to, like, advertising it for sale. I'm just going to be sending it back to auction because I don't want to deal with it. And if it has these kind of issues, I don't feel comfortable selling it to somebody who we might know who will buy it. I might have just got a bad one, or I might have just had a bad run.
Right.
I don't know.
I had the Volkswagen Golf R32 with 333,000 kilometers on it. Like, that's 3 times as long as it's supposed to last.
Yeah.
Right?
And
it had no problems for the 3 years I owned it. No, that's not true.
Other than it wasn't 4-wheel drive. Which should have been.
It did the very Volkswagen thing of having electronic problems. But it said that the hatch was open all the time when it was closed.
Oh, I had that warning too, but I had actually forgotten to close the boot. But yeah. To give like a quick sum up, I don't know if we'll do a goodbye video or something, but
probably not. It's going to auction almost right away, right?
Yeah, as soon as I can.
Keith says he wants to buy it. Well, I'm pretty loud.
I want it, and
never mind. I saw the video. It's actually like it is having problems, and you'd have to find a buyer who's okay with it having problems, right?
Yeah. Keith, if you do seriously want it, I'd like to give you some warnings about it and things like that. Like, I'm not going to hide anything. We can talk about it if you want to send an email. But yeah, we'd have to see. The plan was to just send it to auction, but if you do really want it and it's special to you, then I could understand that, and that would be fun. Because I feel like I never really got to experience the car like I would have wanted, like completely running. Now every time I drive it, I'm like, is it gonna have issues? Is it gonna? It's never left me stranded, even with the engine thing. I was trying to race a GT3 RS. I was trying to follow. Thing. He sounded really awesome, and I was like, "Oh, me too! Downshift, downshift,
yeah,
downshift."
But he's
check
like,
engine light.
Not joking. He's 10 times the price he paid.
Yeah, for sure. I was just
GT3 RS is hypercar territory and how it performs.
Yeah, I think I'm just kind of soured. I don't really like nice cars. I had the E63 AMG. It was lovely, but it was just too nice and too comfortable for me. The BMW has all of these cool features and everything. I just don't want all of the stuff. To me, it's just like bloatware. I don't want sensors telling me all sorts of things. I just want to drive and enjoy it. So
right. So we will do a new car reveal. I must say, of all the cars you have ever owned, the new car that you have is the one that is closest to something I would consider. It is in my top 25, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I have so many cars that I love.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Of the brand that you picked, it's in that brand's probably top 5. But that brand also has a lot of cars that I like in it.
Yeah.
You know what I thought about?
Teasers.
We should probably do Altezza versus your new car.
I think
like
so,
comparison drive or something.
Don't give too many things away.
Yeah.
We're going over to the next thing. Who remembers Derek's Dyna truck?
Ooh.
Well, obviously a number of people, because somebody found it, and on Facebook Marketplace it's for sale in the country that it was shipped to, Canada. And let's post that onto the screen now. And someone was like, hey, we found Derek's truck. And then we looked in the comments, and a number of people were like, hey, this is Derek's truck from Pacific Coast Auto. The Dyna, one of the most well-received cars that I have owned, I only put like 400 kilometers on it because it was too tall for every parking lot in Japan, which is all undercover.
I think you took it out once, right? And then it was like...
I took it out like 4 times. And one of them was to one of our races. I drove there.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. And everyone, oh my God. Talk about cars that everyone's pointing at. I like to fly under the radar a little bit, but I tend to like cars that draw attention.
Yeah.
So it is a bit of a problem.
You saw it and you were like, that's really cool, I gotta have it. And then everyone else saw it and like, that's really cool.
Right. That's why I buy cars. I'm like, ooh, cool.
Yeah.
And then you buy them, and it is a problem. And I'm sure a lot of our viewers feel the same way. A car purchase is a very emotional thing. So
yeah, that was sent to us through our new email, show@pacificcoastauto.com.
Yeah,
that goes to my inbox, so I read all of it.
So it gives Max more work. So if you ever want to DDoS Max, you ever want to not see any videos come out in the future, send him to tons of emails.
But do send us cool stuff. It's fun because we wouldn't have seen this if it wasn't sent to us.
I love that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like people are like, hey, I think that the guys at Pacific Coast Auto want to see something. I just love it.
Yeah. And we're like, you're always right. We do.
Yeah, and we shared it among the people in the office.
The person that sent the email also says, best weekly English-Japanese exporter podcast on YouTube.
Ooh, I was not lying with the intro. It is the best weekly scheduled live JDM podcast from Japan.
Filmed in front of a green screen in an office.
No, there's a live audience. They're just doing work in the background.
Yeah.
Okay, so on to the next segment. The next segment, you give me some reverb. I got to give you a nickname too, Max.
Maxabillion. I really like Maxabillion.
Max a trillion. I'm one up in you. The next topic is industry topics and news. And Mike, you're going to quickly go through these two because they're just
small updates.
Just heads up.
Yeah.
For you. Heads up number 1 is what?
Heads up number 1 is Ninja, the Ninja system. We mentioned that on a previous show. Quickly to recap, it is a way for you to see USS auction pictures when we are not working. You can, it's a subscription-based service. USS charges for it, and we are allowed to on-sell that, I guess, to customers. You can view all of the USS pictures without having to ask them for us. It is available if you would like it. It is 1,900 yen per month at the moment. It could decrease if we get enough people on the on Ninja.
Yeah, USS charges a different fee depending on how many memberships that we purchase.
Right.
So
you have to purchase them in blocks. So yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. Like if we had one person, the minimum purchase is 5 units, right? So if at the beginning we were just trialing it, right? So we were paying for 5, but only using 1 or 2.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
So at the moment we still have to pay for, I think we're on 20 or something, and we have 18 filled up or something.
And then
like that,
we will go up to the next one. When,
the reason we mentioned that is some people had mentioned that I didn't know about Ninja or I hadn't been advertised. I don't think it suits many of the first-time buyers. We've told all of our regular customers about it, or they already have it. The people who purchase multiple vehicles, but if you're watching and you didn't know about it, now you know about it, and let us know if you would like it, or we'll give you more information.
Yeah. Next thing.
Next thing is Derek is currently going to display, drumroll please, a Japanese license plate.
From Japan, real JDM license plate. We have been asked by hundreds of customers, hey, can I keep the plate that's on the car? And the answer was always, no, that's illegal.
Yeah.
The official way that, this is a new thing too.
Yeah.
The official way it used to be is that in order to get the license plate, you had to basically commit fraud. You'd have to go to the police station and then say, I've lost my plate, fill out all the paperwork for that, and create a police report for it. And then once you have that police report, you go to the registration office and then say, hey, my plate is stolen. Here's the official Japanese paperwork for that.
Right.
And then they would allow you to deregister a car without the plate. Of course, that's fraud.
Right. So the registration office is expecting to collect those from cars.
You want to show that?
Max, do you want to? Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah,
And
people
freeway
already
pass.
see what's wrong with this license plate, I guess.
Right. So the key here is that like you've probably seen on eBay or other sellers.
George in the comments. I wonder what car those plates are from.
Yes, George. The answer is yes. So in order to keep the license plate, they have to be, I guess, defaced by the Japanese government. It's the only way you can keep them. So the idea is so that you can't keep them and then mount them to your car in Japan, because that would be illegal, because this plate is no longer registered to any car. It has a large circle cut out here, which is usually where the Japanese seal would be bolted and then stamped into your license plate hole. So there are a couple of options. We haven't tried the other options, but there are different methods of cutting the plate so that they can't officially be used in Japan. It's the only way you can keep them. So if you're seeing a plate that just has the normal bolt holes, someone did not do the right process, and that plate is illegal. But this is legal.
And it's a service we're going to be allowing everybody to do. This plate here is a trial run for it. We're going to set up the back end, and we're going to set up the prices. We have a price in mind of how much we would like to charge for it, considering how long that it takes and what extra work is involved, as well as what the market considers a decent price. So like the stickers, I'd like to pass this out to you, our valued customers, and think, how much do you think is a reasonable amount to pay to have this? I can't really go into the details of how much it costs us, because it's more of a time thing and our staffing thing and a processing thing than it is the actual costs. But if you bought a car from Japan with the plate on it, how much do you think is a reasonable amount to pay to have the official license plate that was on your car previously sent to you in a package? Yeah. So go ahead and answer that now. We'll keep going on, but I'll watch the chat. Yeah.
Griff Wright's already said, is this only an option if the car comes to you with the current registration and plates? I think that's a good question.
Yeah, it must have plates. Some of the vehicles at auction have already been deregistered. That means the plates have already been handed into the registration office. So in that case, we don't get any plates. You can't get any plates unless you were to register the vehicle and then deregister the vehicle. But that's like $2,000 or something.
Actually, this leads to my next kind of thing that I wanted to talk about is, I noticed that there's another car exporter, and what they do is all of their cars that have plates on them, they deregister and they get the plates printed out like this, and then they take these plates and then sell them as a memento item. Right. And the price depends on the rarity of the plate or how popular the city is. Like a Tokyo, well, they don't have Tokyo plates, but like a Shinagawa plate might be worth more than, say, I don't know,
or special designs,
Kitakyushu plate or something like that. Yeah. And the prices that they were charging just for the plates were somewhere between 10,000 yen and I think 15,000 yen. Is that right?
Something like that, yeah.
And so it was a service, I guess, that they were offering to anyone who wanted to buy a plate that didn't already have one on the car. And I wanted to kind of also get feedback from everybody on what you think about doing that. My first impression was, that's a little skeevy. But there's also a demand. Like if you bought a car from Japan and it didn't come with a plate and you wanted to get an official Japanese plate, there is a demand for that. So, you know, if there's a demand, it's also a little bit mean not to fill the demand that otherwise we could do.
Yeah, and I understand it. Like, I think having an official Japanese plate is very cool. I think it's way cooler if you did what this customer did and this was the plate from his car. He has photos of his car with this plate on it, so he can use that as a cool decoration, or if he goes to a car show, he could put that plate on. I will say one thing to keep in mind is some of these plates are in good condition.
Oh, yeah.
They're relatively clean and they're in good condition. Many of the plates we get are not. They will be bent or scratched
must say,
or
though,
scuffed or very old.
Some of the vintage plates, like they had slightly different designs for the older ones, and they tend to be in a little bit rougher condition because they've been on the car for 25 plus years.
Yeah.
But those plates are very cool to
Right.
have a very classic one like
Yeah.
that. Like if my Corolla had one from 1973 or something like that, and it had been registered to the same person the whole time,
Yeah.
I would be like, absolutely, I want that plate.
Yeah.
No matter the condition, the worse condition, the better, because it's like, yes, when you were 3 years old, someone had this plate as a new plate on their car.
Yeah. This is the plate for this car. And it's very cool.
Sometimes patina is worth more.
Patina?
Yes.
Patina, yes.
What's patina?
It's a wear and tear on a vehicle.
Oh.
Not specifically a vehicle, but it's commonly used for vehicles. It's
Oh,
like a
right,
classic car that's like 80 years old that has bad paint and stuff, but it's worth more in that original bad paint condition.
Right. So yes, it is something that we are going to be offering. We just haven't clarified costs.
Looking at the comments here, somebody said, "Hey, I just bought a car from you. Can I get that? Just bought my vehicle last week from y'all. Will you be available for my vehicle, do you think?" Email us. I don't know what happened to your plate at the moment. This isn't something that we're officially rolling out yet, so there's a chance that your plate has already been destroyed. So I'm not
think he
entirely
might
sure.
be okay. I think that's the Altezza we have right now.
Email us.
Yeah, send us an email. Send Jacob an email. I think I know who that is. Oh no, I'm wrong. I'm getting that person confused with someone else. Okay. We haven't started rolling it out, so we're still doing the current process, which is getting rid of the plates, because we haven't decided a price. And if we do suddenly get a lot of people doing this, it could cause a lot of issues for the other things that we have to do while we're at the registration office. And like everything in Japan, you have to fill in a bunch of forms and take a bunch of time to the bureaucratic process. Fun.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Next segment. Reverb, please. Auction.
Wait, okay.
Come on, you gotta be snappy with this. Auction, dealer picks, and cars from auction and dealers. Wait.
these are cars.
Number one here. May I have the mic? Not the mic, the mouse.
Let's go over some things that we have found. You might be interested. Oh, we saw one of these driving just the other... No, this is
These
a different...
have such an amazing road presence. What you're looking at here is a 1974.
Did we not show this the other week?
I don't think so.
Are you sure?
I don't know, but I also have short-term memory loss. It's a 1974 Mitsubishi Debonair. This was the competitor to the Toyota Century back in the day, and it actually, considering Mitsubishi isn't a huge company, it was a fairly stylish and good car that you can pick. 6-seater, because it's double benches, has a 2000cc engine, and what surprised me is for being 1974, it is in really good condition. So I'll quickly go over the auction sheet. It says the AC doesn't work, but it's from 1974. Of course it doesn't. The muffler has corrosion hole in it and an exhaust leak as a result. It says underside surface rust and corrosion, but nothing about corrosion holes or corrosion hole repairs. And so in that respect, car's 41 years old. There's going to be some corrosion or something, but it apparently hasn't had a repairs done to the body for corrosion, which is remarkable for the age.
And not an accident damaged vehicle either, which is unusual.
And we don't know the mileage of this one because it's a 5-digit odometer, because back in the 70s, Japanese manufacturers didn't think the cars would go over 100,000 kilometers, but little did they know they were engineering the most reliable vehicles in the world at the time. And then it also says it's been fully repainted. The paint is a little bit wavy. The end panel is dented and the rear floor is dented, so it has been rear-ended into. Not enough to cause frame repairs, but it does have a little bit of damage there.
Okay.
And then the body is all fairly clean. Hard to find one of these in such good condition, and it is something that will absolutely turn heads. Nobody will know what this is, except for me and you. And look at the fender mirrors.
I don't even think I'd recognize if I saw it out driving.
Of all the fender mirrors that I've seen, these ones are the furthest forward. Look at that. They're almost right on the front corners. That will absolutely attract a ton of attention. And the wheels, the original wheels, very nice choice. So this is coming up for auction. This is the kind of car that you guys can buy. I would love it if we showed a car on here and somebody noticed it for the first time while watching it live and decided to bid on it.
Yeah, I think
we
that's
should
still
probably
the dream.
give them special stickers, like Cool JDM Show stickers, if we were to do that. It's like a teeny tiny little incentive. Oh, a sticker.
You'll get a sticker.
Damn, I'm buying a car to get
buy
that.
a $10,000 car.
I don't know what this would sell for. With classic cars, it becomes really hard to tell.
Yeah.
Next one, Mike. You want to show me something?
No. Yes, I do. I meant no as in like I don't know what I'm going to show you. Is this the tab we're currently on?
Yes. Next.
Bye.
Okay.
Now we're on this one. This is an actual... Whoa. This has got to be a repaint.
Yeah. Like every 40 series has been repainted 1 to 6 times.
Okay, a Land Cruiser 40 series.
We don't get a ton of inquiries about these anymore, but about 5 years ago, everybody wanted one. And it requires a talk. We need to have a talk before you buy one of these. And this is a good example why. You look at the picture and you're like, yes, please. That one looks clean and good. And 40 series are over $100,000 for a decent one. So can I get them from Japan, where rust isn't usually so much of a problem? You can also get them with diesel here, which I believe this one is. A BJ. The BJs are the diesel. 4-speed manual. 3.2 liter. I believe yeah, diesel. And why is that not a good idea?
I could, being someone who doesn't read Japanese, I will quickly go over my my thoughts when I see this. So I see, a Land Cruiser 40. That's very old. I'll look for corrosion. And then I go down here and I see, a C followed by the, is it Ara?
It's Anna.
Anna.
Yeah.
So C, Anna. That means a corrosion hole. Corrosion hole.
Right. I mean, to someone who doesn't understand the Anna, they will know the C, and the C is corrosion.
Right.
So you don't need to know any Japanese to decipher what that is.
Yeah. I would recommend, if you're looking for older cars, memorize this little kanji, because that means hole, and it's...
you stick your finger through it.
Here, on the left rear quarter panel, the right rear quarter panel, and the left door. Then there's also a mark here on the note section, which says corrosion hole. I would assume, and Derek will tell me if I'm right in a moment, that is on the underside, either this note or this note.
Actually, I'll read all of the notes that say anything about corrosion. So this one says engine room. Inside the engine room has corrosion. Center floor has a corrosion hole. And it's large. The left and right side sills both have large corrosion holes. The rear floor has a corrosion hole. And the body has various corrosion hole repairs, which means usually body filler to the max. We're talking centimeter thick body filler. And then has been fully repainted.
Right, and I was going to say that goes hand in hand with corrosion hole repairs and repaints.
So this one is lucky in that it mentions that it has a corrosion hole repair on it, but most of the time at auction there's no mention because the auction inspector is not a specialist in finding corrosion hole repairs, and if it's done well enough, it's not going to be visible, but it's still going to be a problem. So Land Cruisers, especially 40 series, huge value for the ones that are clean, but most of them are hidden trouble that you don't really realize. And unfortunately, when you buy the cars from auction, these are sight unseen, and there's no Land Cruiser specialist that can see the car ahead of time to tell you if this one is worth buying or not. Now, as a result, prices are a little bit low, but you have to be okay with getting something that's junky. And if you're not okay with that, then you could be getting yourself in over your head. And so we need to talk before you buy one of these.
And it can be tough. You see this car and you're like, wow, look how clean and shiny the paint looks. This is a nice one. This has got to be a nice one. But it's one that somebody has made to present nicely.
Look at the interior picture. They have laid fiberglass down on the entire... See, this is what I'm talking about with poor repairs. Yeah? Someone just sealed the entire floor with fiberglass and didn't even paint it. That's exactly what that looks like to me.
Okay.
So fiberglass with resin on top.
Yeah. So like, yes, the picture makes it look nice and clean and tidy, but it's not. Somebody has made it to present nicely, but it's hiding a lot more issues. So that's why we need to have a talk. Good point, Derek. We need to have a talk.
Thank you for mentioning that it was a good point.
You're welcome.
Also are a person who has good points.
Thank you. I will continue to do so. Next car, please. A cube, if you will.
This one's only going to be really quick, and I'll speak a little bit faster as a result. The Nissan Cube, this is the first one that was available in North America, and everyone knows the Nissan Cube.
Pop top.
This one has a pop-up roof on it.
So cool.
Not an option I knew was available.
To be fair, you asked for the first picture to not be this one. You did that, and now it reset, and it's back to this one.
No worries. I wanted to show the car at first, just to be like, oh, here's a Nissan Cube. Surprise, it's got a pop-up roof in it. So this converts into two beds. So the seats in the bottom convert into a bed, and the seat on the top converts into a bed. Let me see if I can find one of those interior.
May I
zoomed
ask,
in too much.
Did the rear seats always convert into a bed, or is that a conversion?
Sort of. It comes with something else. Let's see if I can find a picture of that, maybe on the third page.
Because I feel like it would have to be front seats and rear seats.
It is. So it's like a pseudo bench seat, right? In these. How many pictures do they have of the car? Okay, so here's your sleeping platform. For whatever reason, the one that comes up with the pop-up roof has these little triangular pillows for, I guess, resting your head on when you're sleeping on it.
Wait, this was available from new with a pop top?
Yeah, right from Nissan.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Now, here's something interesting. The price of this, 800,000 yen, which converts to $5,400 US. And I was like, that seems like a lot, but I know you're paying for the pop-up roof.
Yep.
These are so rare, you're probably not going to find one at auction. And so dealer is where you would try to buy one of these from. Sounds like a lot. Regular version, 25% of this cost.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, I wonder how much these cost in the USA. And one in similar condition sells for about $8,000 US without the pop top.
Oh, wow.
These are so expensive in North America in the used market, and I have no idea. They're a unique vehicle, and I can understand how people are like, "Oh, that's cute. I want to buy something.
Oh, yeah.
I've got retirement money because my house was worth $300,000 when I bought it, and now it's $3.5 million now. I got free money.
Yay! I'll buy a cube.
It's so cheap. It's only $8,000. Oh. In Japan, the same condition one is literally $500.
Wow.
Of course, they can't be imported to the USA yet.
Yeah.
And by the time that they can be, they might be a little bit more expensive. But interesting to know that you can buy these with a pop top. And look, they've got little platforms here too. You see the bottom cushions here. That it's a full. It's like they're different seat bases for this version, so that you can sleep in it.
I was going to say that it would be difficult, I think, but still, you can sleep in your car.
Difficult for you,
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can, of course, sleep in the pop-up top as well.
Yeah. Did I have pictured that?
I think so, but I don't think we have time to go over.
All right. Max has given us the time check. That's right. We're sorry, Max. Do we want to do the last car?
Here.
Do we want to show everyone an LFA?
There's not
for
a
sale?
ton to talk about for the last car. I'll pass you the mic. No, I'll pass Mike the mouse.
With the mouse on the mic. Oh boy, yes please. I would love to have one. No,
Should I zoom in so people can enjoy more?
Oh, that's a great shot with the dark sky.
It only has 2,000 kilometers on it.
Wow.
So probably 10% of its mileage was to take it out to the mountains and get nice shots.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a loader that's in Hakone.
Oh,
the
I did the same
turnpike.
picture too.
Yeah.
That's a popular corner for pictures, right?
Yeah.
People line up for it.
It's probably the best picture you can take in Hakone.
Wow. It's the price is not listed. It is price on application.
Probably well over $1 million.
I think so, yeah.
And something to talk about here is that sometimes you'll see a listing on Japan and just assume that prices are less in Japan because prices are often less in Japan. But this is not your average car, right?
Nope.
This is the type of car that has a world price instead of a Japan price because cars like this move from country to country frequently. 2,000 kilometers, this is a Nürburgring package, of which they only made 64 of. It has a 10 horsepower bump, which isn't a lot. Faster shifting gearboxes, stiffer suspension, magnesium wheels, so that if you hit a rock, it's going to catch on fire. Magnesium, highly flammable metal.
Is the interior really purple? Or is that...
You could spec it any way that you wanted. So somebody was like, and the purple interior.
I quite like the mix. I don't think I would choose it, but it is cool. Oh, look at that. Oh,
that's also fully digital too. There are no actual analog moving parts. It looks like an analog one, but it's digital.
It does.
482.
Mm-hmm.
And carbon fiber everything. It's a carbon fiber tub.
We show this because it's cool and we want to oogle it. Yeah, we don't expect anyone to buy one.
Okay, that's
All right.
That's everything except for the questions. We've got plenty of time for questions, so go ahead and post things in there.
Before questions, one announcement. There will not be a Cool JDM show next week.
Yeah.
Next week in Japan is Golden Week holidays, so auctions are closed. We are on vacation for a week, and that will resume from the following week.
So everyone's going to do no dishes at home that week.
I don't do dishes enough. One other thing, when you're browsing on the auction tool, we get this every time there's a shutdown in Japan when the auctions close. You'll be browsing looking for cars, having a great time, expecting to see lots of cool stuff, and then you won't get any results. It means that the auctions are closed. Or you might get results for very small auction houses that happen to be open. But
or a week in advance. Some of the auctions, they'll show cars that are 12 days out or 14 days out.
So don't be shocked or scared. The world hasn't fallen to pieces. It's just a week off in Japan. That's all.
And we're sorry. There's nothing we can do about it.
There is a government regulated decision. People must have the time off. Not really.
Yeah, not really.
Not really.
You
Anyways,
that up, right?
Yes. Good. Questions and answers. Your burning questions. We have the answers, and they will be delivered to you by Max.
Ooh.
Max a billion.
that was sort of the reverb. It was really funny.
Okay, Max, please.
We don't really have questions from.
So get your questions in. I know that the viewers are often the same people, but if you're new, now's your chance to ask a question about importing cars from Japan or about Mike's hairstyle. Go ahead.
Or about Derek's clothing choice.
I'm a little wrinkly today. This is one of my least favorite shirts
older.
Because it's baggier than some of my other ones.
Not as form-fitting. Doesn't show off your guns or your six-pack.
I don't have guns or
Derek has guns and a six-pack.
First question, JT. It's funny because, Derek, we talked about this last week. Sort of. Would you guys consider having customer car photos with customer permission on the PCA website? I would definitely send photos.
I haven't thought about that in a very long time. There was a point where we did. Mm-hmm. We were right when we were a small company and we didn't really have very many customers at that point. You struggle at that point to make sales, and you're trying to rack your brain of how can I make enough sales, especially when you're working another job and you're not making enough money in this endeavor. It's difficult. So we used to have a section on the website of past customer testimonies, and I used to ask people for testimonies and put the car into the website.
I do remember that, yeah.
And we had a number of them, but when you're big enough that you get multiple inquiries a day, that usually you got to work on the core of the business instead of trying to grow. So we don't do that now. I don't think it's a bad idea, and I especially think that people like to see the type of cars that go onto the channel. So maybe it is something to look into.
I would love that if the website could support a little section which is just people like showing off the cars that they've imported through us. Like we get a ton of cool photos on location. Yeah. Like, man, someone sent in their car on a very famous road in Scotland. I forget what it's called. It's like the C500 or CR500. Oh, great shot. Made me want to go to Scotland. Yeah, photos like that would be really cool if we could put that on the website.
Do we want to do another riff in the podcast to make us do things?
On the next episode of the Cool...
We've got Golden Week coming up, so we have to consider the wind down before Golden Week.
Yeah, and we're flat out trying to make sure that there are no issues over Golden Week with cars and storage.
Yeah, every time we take a holiday, you guys get sad because there's no more browsing, and we got to work our butts off before and after in order to keep things running well.
Yeah.
Okay, then next question. Potato was asking, wait, you guys export cars? I thought Derek was just collecting them in the driveway.
That is
sometimes it feels that way.
That is also true.
How many cars including the race cars, how many stupid cars do we have blocking up the spaces?
Too many.
We've got the city.
My personal opinion. Do we have 3 cities?
The city and the city.
City Turbo 2. City Turbo 2. City... What's the...
CZI.
CZI.
The Lupo. The Roadster. The Corolla right now, but that's soon to be in my driving way.
Yeah.
The Candy Van.
That has never moved.
Not in like 8 years, right? It's just been sitting there being a tool shed. Not even. Nobody uses it for that anymore.
I think we never...
7.
If we're doing that, 2 cars were picked up. that have been in the lot for a long time.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
I don't think anybody in
Max.
public knows that we crashed our original Roadster in a race.
Now everybody knows.
But that's why you watch this show, right?
You're
gonna find
The scoop.
the scoop.
Definitely. And when
Yeah.
the channel gets big enough that people actually care about us, then that could be important to them.
We do have people that care about us. There's just a limited
The
pool
best people.
of very
These people are
Yeah.
early adopters and they know the world better than everyone else. So
yeah.
yeah, the Potato has asked twice about Ferraris and how often they go for sale in Japanese auction. I don't want to waste your time with emails, lol. Ferraris at auction.
All the time. Like from all through the year
all
range.
the freaking time.
There's
yes.
plenty of them. Many Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Audi R8s. What
And
other
cars like that are generally pretty easy to buy too, because somebody who owns your regular car might care about maintenance, might not care about maintenance, but somebody who owns a Ferrari in Japan, at least for the first 10 years or so, maintenance is always done very, very well.
Yeah. You know what I have to say? This just popped into my mind. The people there are some YouTubers out there who are always saying, oh, I got scammed by the auctions. Our Japanese auction's a scam. Look, I can't believe this thing. Like, there are over 100,000 cars that go through the Japanese auction system every week. There are Ferraris, Lamborghinis, LFAs we've seen, like very rare, desirable cars. Like, granted, that's not really the place that auctions are really for. Like, those are like private auctions like Sotheby's and Barrett-Jackson and everything, but they are available. There is a level of trust at a level of price that is far exceeds what most people think. So like Rolls-Royce, there are tons of Rolls-Royces going through auctions and they're being purchased too.
And
so
Bentleys and tons of 911s,
Yeah.
GT3s, GT2s, GT4s, just as far as the eye can see.
Yeah. So the auctions are not a scam. There are things to be on the lookout for, and we will help you navigate the auctions. But yeah, sorry, it just frustrates me. So I wanted to say that.
If we were a little bit braver or a little bit stupider, we could very well go through so many of these influencer videos and go wrong to so many of the things that are on there.
Yeah.
We choose very specifically not to be calling people out on this, even though they deserve to be called out on it, because we don't want that ire pointed toward us. These people often have huge audiences that could create trouble at the whim of that YouTuber.
Yeah.
Who's like, oh, I don't like what these guys said. I wish stochastic terrorism, right?
Yeah.
I wish somebody would do something about these bad Derek and Mike talking shit about me.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when you're creating a channel, outrage sells, and so they start making up these narratives, such as
the clickbait
auctions
titles.
know that they're like, you can pay money to change an auction sheet. No, you freaking can't.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And there is no reason for that to become a thing, because the auctions only work on trust. And if it were available for that to happen, there's no way to not get word out. And if word suddenly gets out, the auction now doesn't have people buying from that auction.
Yeah.
If they have no buyers, they will have no sellers. This is very, very, very simple information on how basic business works, but unfortunately you don't have to know that to become an influencer.
Yeah.
And so you make up stories that are going to sound salacious and sound like they have the insider information. They usually don't. Usually they hear something and then the brain doesn't go, let's check if that's correct before it gets spoken out to millions of viewers.
Yeah.
And so we try to be the voice of reason because that's our business.
Right.
And yet we don't have the draw in order to educate so many people on the same level as they do.
And I will say part of the reason for the show is to go over things like that, to try to spread the word as much as we can and an honest kind of both sides of the coin. Like, no, the auctions aren't a scam, but yes, you need to be careful when you're looking for cars, that kind of thing. Like well balanced information as best we can.
That was level-headed while mine sounded like a rant.
Well, I started the rant and then I kind of felt bad, so I wanted to
No, I gotta say, I get worked up when people are doing things that are dishonest. For me, honesty is just so much more important than anything else, and it just drives me mad that some people have an opposite relationship with the honest truth.
Yeah.
Where the truth doesn't matter. I honestly think if you don't care about truth, this will damage you as a person throughout your life, and it will only get worse.
And it's also what you said the other day, right? People aren't really being careful about what they put into the world, especially when they have large viewership. things like
make some money.
Right, like I'm just gonna say I can't believe the auction scammed me, rather than yeah, I kind of made I got this car for really cheap, and I did know that there were some issues, but that's not a good video title. I'd rather say they scammed me. All auctions are a scam.
Yeah.
Boom. Clip that, and then I look like an idiot now. Great.
We're inevitably going to poke somebody in a way that's going to not make them happy. So it's inevitably going to happen, but we'll try to weather that as well as we can.
Anyway, how about some more questions from our lovely viewers?
Luzoy Hardware was asking, how do they remove the fuel from the vehicles before shipping? Do we know that?
Siphon. They pump. Or pump.
Probably
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
No, they do it with a pump.
Yeah.
I've seen the equipment. I've never seen them actually do that. In order to ship it, it officially has to have under 1/3 of a tank of gas, but most of the cars when they go to auction are on the very bottom of their tank anyway. This, drivers before they sell a car are like, I might as well use the $80 I put in my tank.
Yeah.
Same as all around the world.
That person's probably asking because we sometimes get asked, can you put more fuel in my vehicle? Because when I pick it up, I want to be able to drive it off the port and not have it run out of fuel. Fun fact, the E63 in New Zealand ran out of fuel when I picked it up because exact same problem. And some guy who drove past in a Hyundai, if you're watching this, you're a bad dude. You're a bad dude. He looked at me and he had his friend in the car and they were a bit younger and they're like, ha, should have bought a Honda. And I looked at his car and I'm like, you're driving a Hyundai. Like... I don't get it. And
Maybe
I'm like,
he thinks his car is a Honda.
Maybe, but like also it just ran out of gas and I was like 100 meters from a gas
It's also
station.
a German car and we spent 20 minutes talking about how much you hate German cars.
Yeah.
Should have bought a Honda, man.
The car was fine. It was just the most random situation where this dude in a Hyundai rolls up and is like, should have bought a Honda, which I also don't have.
It's also kind of a dickhead thing to do when someone has a broken down car. Like, when someone has a broken down car,
you don't stop and be like,
I have often stopped and said, is there something I can help with? Or, hey, I got some gas or something,
Would have been lovely if that guy offered to run up the road, literally like the 1 minute it would have taken to help me out. But hey, way cooler to tell me to buy a Honda.
Yeah, I bet you his friends were very impressed.
Yeah, they're like, ha ha ha.
What's next, Max?
A question I can answer, I think. SM said, I saw you commenting on a Toyota Blade that drove past you in one of your recent reviews. Can you comment on it? And it's going to be a review on YouTube coming up.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
I will slightly comment on the Toyota Blade. I think that it is fantastic that Toyota decided to take one of their medium-sized hatchbacks that normally has a 4-cylinder and then make an aggressive version of it that's a little bit wider and a V6 engine, 280 horsepower. I think it is a shame that it doesn't have a manual transmission. It could be an icon car. If manual transmission, 280 horsepower, front-wheel drive hatchback. Sounds like it ticks all the boxes for a lot of people. It sounds like a 2005 version of the GR Yaris.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I drove it. I think that my taste of cars is very developed and it is hard to impress me. I was not impressed as much as I thought that I would be of that car. Not to say that it's bad in any way, but I feel like it's hard to say without... I don't want a dog on the engine or a dog on the car because I don't think it deserves that. It was a car that is built to a price point, and all cars are built to a price point, and then you can't take a value-priced car and compare it to a more expensive car. That's not really fair. I felt like it was not a car that was for me. More so than I expected it to be. I thought that I would enjoy it more.
Do you say maybe it let you down, like you had higher hopes for it and then you were kind of like,
I might have gotten on the hype train a little bit too much. You sit up fairly high in it, so it doesn't feel as sporty as you would think.
Yeah.
And the engine, like, 2GR engines are not very well renowned for sporty feeling. They are not meant to be sports car engines, and the only reason it would be considered sporty in that chassis is because it's a hatchback. That engine is otherwise your Camry's engine or your Alphard's engine, right? It's not meant to be a sports car engine. That said, the engine in my Honda minivan feels like a sports car engine, even though it's in a minivan. And
maybe that's because it was made by Honda.
Could be. Hondas make good cars, Mike.
Hondas make great cars. I kind of I thought the Blade was cool. I think the interior was quite nice.
I think so too.
I wouldn't want to own the car. I'm with you that I kind of wanted more from it. Manual transmission, you can't swap them. I think there's been like 1 or 2 people who have tried to do it, and it just doesn't. It's too much effort. But yeah, nice premium feeling interior, and that big of an engine and that size of car. You let your foot off the brake and you just kind of go immediately without even touching the gas.
It is pretty fast.
Yeah.
Going back to Golden Week stuff, will vehicles bought last week be affected by Golden Week, given that government offices will be closed?
Not really, no. All the
Yeah.
cars stay in Japan for 3 to 5 weeks, and if there are shipping delays, even longer than that. And then all of the work that we do is done pretty much right away. I don't think every time we do this 3 times a year with a little shutdown like this.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really cause not really any problems for the customer.
Right.
All of the problems are just handled by our amazing team.
Yeah.
Instead.
Follow-up question: what is everyone doing during Golden Week?
One of those Japan lifestyle questions. The first day of Golden Week, I'm going strawberry picking, which sounds like a wonderful idea. It's all you can eat strawberries, and you just pick them off of the plants. And strawberries in Japan, oh my god, they can taste amazing. We've gone to this place once before, the best strawberries I've ever had. The problem is, because it's all you can eat, you want to get your money's worth, and you can't reasonably eat that many strawberries.
Yeah, strawberries.
So last time we were like, I can't eat strawberries for a year, but now it's been 2 years and we've forgotten about that, so we're going to go get into trouble again.
Going to gorge yourself on strawberries. What's the Japanese word for strawberry?
Ichigo.
Ichigo.
Yep.
There's your Japanese word of the day. Strawberry is ichigo.
I should have said something that's completely wrong.
I was going to be spending the Golden Week driving the BMW as a kind of send-off and enjoy driving it around, but it is broken, so I will not be doing that. I will be hoping for good weather, and I'll be riding my bike.
And I don't...
We get the new car. Probably
I don't think the name
registerable.
change will be done in time.
Yeah, I can't get my Corolla done in time either, so
Yeah.
I don't have a car over Golden Week. I mean, I get my minivan, of course, but I don't have anything
Yeah.
that I want to drive.
Someone said in the chat, they said they've already seen my car, and that is not true because I haven't already seen my car. It has not arrived.
Yeah, someone thinking that they're smart.
They're trying to play games with the other people who are wondering.
It's funny because a lot of the people who are viewing actually have insider information. So, like, for example, the Corolla reveal, there are probably 10 or so people that are watching that actually knew about the car just from, like, us talking about it in a personal email with that person. But your next car is not like that. You have not told a single soul outside of this company.
No one.
Even like friends or anything?
Oh, yeah, some of my friends know.
Are they in the chat right now?
My parents don't know.
Not
that it affects
how old
them.
are you, Mike?
Yeah.
You still care what your parents think?
Well, usually I would share things with my parents, and I haven't spoken to them since. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Code the Road was asking, why doesn't PCA have a little anime mascot yet?
Oh yes, what a great question.
And when you get one,
I will give
what
you a
would it
little
be?
bit of specialty information about that. Grant, who works here, has a wife who is a professional designer. And she
Artist/designer.
specializes in cute little characters.
Ooh.
And it has been something that we've spoken about. It is kind of a big thing, though, because the style that we do of the characters matters a lot to our viewership, and it is a brand building thing. So it's something that we're considering. If you do have ideas about that, I'd like to hear them.
What if each of us got to choose the style and thing that?
I want to be like a giant robot.
Yeah, intergalactic. I think it's cool. It's something we've talked about and we want to do, but one thing at a time. Max is very busy already. Getting cool videos out to you.
And Max is also working on our new auction tool as well. As of about 2 weeks ago, he started. 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks.
He started working on that. And so Max has a full plate. Right now, you're just kind of like sitting there reading chat, probably thinking, oh, I got to work on that new auction tool or that new video or the stickers or
gotta schedule all the report uploads. I still have like 10 to upload today.
Wow.
Yeah. Ooh. We got a lot.
So we got videos to go up over Golden Week.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Yes. Okay. Chonky Raccoon.
Love it. Perfect name. Thank you very much for having that name.
Are you able to service a vehicle before it's shipped overseas?
Mike?
We can. We do. That's I guess the quick answer. But the longer answer is it depends on what you want done. There are the things that we can do are things like basic maintenance or things that are required, like repairs to make sure the vehicle can be exported. And we view it as kind of essential work that we can do. We can do some other things like wheels and things like that. We don't really advertise it because a lot of the time that it takes us to do those things costs quite a bit of money. So the price that we have to give you to do those things is more expensive than if you were to do it yourself,
or at a dedicated shop that does these things. Like, we one-off those, and we don't have back-end systems that control everything really tightly, and as such it takes us more time to do anything like that. Like, we don't have a shop and our cars are parked 10-minute drive away, so for us to put a set of wheels on, we've now got half an hour of transport time, plus the vehicle comes to us, we have to send someone down there to pick up and drop off. We're just not efficient when it comes to doing these sorts of things, and as such it does have to be more expensive. So when someone asks about it, we'll be completely honest. Like, we'll make money if we're doing it, of course.
We have to.
We like making money, of course, but if it's in the best interest of the customer, then we're going to tell them the honest truth about that.
Right.
And so it's circumstantial based on what car you have, what you want to get done, that sort of thing.
There's like the essential work that you have to get done before exporter. Like, if your vehicle is like the brakes don't work, it has to have brakes to be able to ship. So we will get that repaired for you, and we can do that. Obviously, it makes sense. There's optional stuff that you might either want done here because you don't want to do it yourself, or you think it's cheaper to do here. That kind of stuff often works out to be cheaper to do on arrival with you, because we have to charge managing the work here in Japan, transporting the vehicle, dealing with the shop, arranging everything. So there's an element of our time that's involved, so it makes it kind of expensive. Still can make sense if parts are difficult to get where you are. And then the third kind of thing is that we don't do things like body kits or repainting vehicles or installing a new engine and things like that. We have done it on very small niche cases in the past, and
we've done several engine rebuilds.
It generally works out to be pretty bad. It takes a very long time. It's very costly. We don't have good relationships with shops. Like, we can't just be like, we'll send it to Spoon and have a full engine rebuild done, which is, we could do it, but we've never done it before, and you know, there's a lot of unknowns. The main reason for this is that once we do the work, the shop's done the work. Once we export it to you, if you get the work and you think, oh, the repaint wasn't exactly the color that I was looking for, or the quality isn't quite what I was looking for, that was really expensive, what are we going to do? Like, the car is with you now, the shop's done the work, now that's a bad experience.
And that has happened at least sometimes, and then the customer's like, okay, well, I want you to complain to the shop, and then we're like, well, we need to maintain a relationship, and shops do business under an assumption that the Japanese way of doing things is understood. We understand what we're getting into. The customer might not, and even if we explain it, they might not understand it. But then if we complain to them, that breaks relationships here. If we don't complain to it, it breaks relationships here with the customer, and it puts us into a bad position when we're doing something that's a little bit more creative, like a body kit. Because you know, I want it to be a certain color here, and then it to blend into here. You know, there are certain things that are requirements, and it requires a lot of direct communication with the shop. And when there's now a third party in between for each point of communication, that puts us into a difficult position to basically fail, because it will be the point of failure, and we don't want to set ourselves up for failure, or our customers, or the shops. It is difficult, more so than you would expect.
For things like repaints, just get them done wherever you are.
Repaints here aren't very good either.
And it's kind of expensive. Well, that new shop that we have is good, but it's not enough to it's just been one. So
I think
get it done
they
locally.
were also doing an extra good job to.
I think so. I was very impressed, honestly.
I like the shop. Their communication was subpar, by far. But the work that they did, they put some effort into it, and I was pretty happy with the price we paid. We paid 675,000 yen to fully repaint a car
in an original color,
including repairing a pretty damaged fender.
Oh, that included the repairs? Okay.
I was even thinking if I would get body parts to go to that shop.
I
as well. You can communicate with the guy in English, which is handy for us, but at the same time, you might not get a reply.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Please don't ask us about that. We don't do repaints. These are, it's not enough to be able to sell it to a customer and be happy with the service that we can provide.
It takes a long time to get a repaint done. It was like from start to finish 6 weeks.
Yeah. It's better than the 6 months we had before.
6 weeks is not too bad.
Yeah.
Every time I went to a paint shop in Germany, it was like, next appointment, 6 months.
The problem is every paint shop doesn't want to do work unless it's collision work, because collision work you can charge a higher price for because they're no longer price sensitive. So they want to do 90% of their work collision work, and will only open slots for personal work, a few and far between.
Yeah, true. We got a few questions, but we're already stretched on time.
We got
5 minutes. Rapid fire.
Chunky Raccoon asks again, on a scale of bankrupt to 10, how stupid of an idea is it to buy a Quattroporte?
Bankrupt. Next question.
Mercedes, not Mercedes. Maseratis are all terrible. We've never bought one that I've been impressed with, and we bought some really low mileage ones.
Cheap to buy, expensive to own.
They're a low volume maker, so their quality is really low as a result. You can't stretch your R&D over a large amount of cars like the high volume manufacturers can.
Have either of you driven a Sera? I wonder how a tall person fits.
They don't at all. I'm 5'10", and it's giddy.
Barely.
Only just.
I just barely fit inside a Sera at 5'10", and it is dangerous. You've got glass right here next to your head, and you go over a bump and you hit the glass with your head. It is not fun at all. It feels claustrophobic inside, and because of all the glass on the upper end, it doesn't handle very well. It's based off of a Tercel platform. Not a good handling car to begin with. And with the extra high weight, the car is cool. Don't get me wrong. It's very, very cool, the Toyota Sera. But it is a nightmare of a car that wasn't engineered properly. It was engineered for styling, and then, it's popular, let's sell this. That's what kind of car it is. Yeah. It's otherwise a terrible car. Get a star.
Next rapid fire. Is the JB23W 2018 good?
2018 for a JB23, really? Or is that the model code for the new one?
Oh, okay.
It's
we
a Jimny,
but we just bought our first that's okay. So a JB23W is a Jimny, right?
I'll just assume that that's the right model code for 2018. But the new one.
Yeah.
JB64 2018. That sounds more right.
It's a Jimny. All the Jimnys are kind of the same. They don't really change that much. They're body-on-frame K vehicles. They're
awesome.
Jimnys. They are fantastic for off-road, fantastic for looking cool, not good road manners. They never will have good road manners because they're not built for that.
My mom wanted one, and I was convinced that she should not have one because if someone were to crash into you in one of those, you would not fare very well. And I care very much about my mother, and I don't want her to have any disastrous. They're probably okay because they're modern crash standards, but I would still
modern K-car crash standards.
Yeah.
They're tiny cars.
Yeah.
Same for my mom. She wants an N-box so bad, but you have to be very careful.
At least in Europe, well, not Germany, but in most of Europe, speeds are so low that deaths aren't a big thing. But if the car's going to the USA, speeds are so high on every road there because they make the roads too wide. In Germany, the roads can't be too wide because it's thousands of years old.
Yep. But I do wonder how fast I could go in an N-box on the Autobahn.
I bet
before it rattles apart.
I bet you can go 140 kilometers an hour. 150 maybe.
I know that 140 on a certain 3-cylinder turbo K car is possible, but not
You were in Japan when you owned that car.
No, I'm starting to understand why the engine blew up, man.
It was after. Okay, last question, because I think someone didn't watch the beginning of it. What do you think of a Lotus Elise?
I think of the Lotus Elise. We go over that in the video that we are going to post. But your basic, so this is the most basic way that I can say it. The car is a 1 out of 10 and a 10 out of 10 at the same time. Like in terms of drivability and fun of driving it, I can't think of another car that is more fun, especially the one that I had with the low power engine. Say what you will about fast cars. Unless you want to be fast in a straight line, which the Elise is not your car, the car doesn't have a pier for handling. It really doesn't. In terms of livability, though, It is one of the worst cars I've ever owned. And if you want to fully enjoy your car, there's a car that can compromise in those aspects. If you want 80% of what a Lotus Elise can give you, like, so the Miata fits 8 out of 10 for driving fun and 8 out of 10 for livability. Yeah. And then you don't have to compromise. You don't get everybody looking at you like you do in the Elise. Depends on if that's worth it to you. But I really don't think the Elise is a bad car to buy. I think everyone should, if you're a car enthusiast, go ahead, buy one, try it out. You'll probably sell it for what you bought it for. You can say you've owned an Elise. You can be part of the exclusive club. Though I'm not in that club. I'm in the Club Racer club.
Which is even more exclusive. Yeah.
This is the lightweight version, one of 36 made.
Matching seats, right? And body color.
And a smaller steering wheel than normal. And perforated floors. We didn't talk about the perforated floors. Lotus cut holes in the floor and removed all the sound deadening in this version of it to make it lighter.
Oh, thanks, Lotus. That's nice.
I mean, it is more rattly as a result, but that's what Lotus drivers want. You ever want to sell a Lotus, you just have to say, it's a rattly piece of crap that handles better than anything else. And everyone's like, yes, give that to me.
Can I say the German word again?
Yeah.
Klapperkiste.
That sounds like clapped out shyster.
It sounds like an STD.
Rattlebox.
Rattlebox.
That describes it pretty well. And it just makes random buzzing, rattling sounds when idling, and the AC sometimes works.
There is a trick to that, though.
Drive it fast.
Right foot. Yeah. Right foot makes rattles less audible.
I was so proud of myself when I came up with that.
Yeah, I think that was great.
That's so funny. I'm a funny guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the show. We are right on time this time. We're right on time, the 30 minutes over that we decided to make this time because we couldn't stay on time.
I think an hour and a half is a good length too.
I do too. Yeah. Thank you very much for joining us. It has been a pleasure to have this live show with you all aboard. If you were doing the dishes while watching this, if you were doing the dishes while washing the show, you've got a problem and your phone is maybe not doing so good anymore.
Phones are waterproof now.
They are. But if you did detergent and you were washing it, I hope your phone is clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope you remember to buy pet food if you need that.
I hope that you're going to call your mom soon.
Yeah.
You know?
No show next week, but the week after, we will be very happy to see you back.
Very happy. We're going to be
very happy.
Yeah. You'll go through withdrawal in the same way that we will.
Yeah.
We'll be desperate.
Yeah.
All disheveled and haven't slept well. You guys. Talk to me in the chat, please.
Cool. Have a lovely week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.